Hi, everybody. This is Caleb. I'm coming at you from my bedroom. I apologize for the low lighting. I really don't have any better way to light it up. But I just wanted to come on here and share a couple things I thought about today. So, first of all, is I got a brand new piano. Yay! It's not a piano. It's a keyboard piano, an electric piano, and it came in a box. It came unassembled, so I had to put it together. So as I was going to put it together, I knew that there would be instructions in the box, but for whatever reason, I wasn't super ready to go to the instructions in the box. It was kind of like, I don't need no dumb instructions. I can handle this myself. So I tried to do that for approximately 2 minutes, and then I realized, well, that's not going to work. I have no idea what I'm doing here, so I might as well use the instructions. So I went and got the instructions manual and took it out, and lo and behold, it helped me get started and got me on the right path. Along the way, though, there was an instruction that I didn't look super clearly at, and it wasn't super clear exactly what I should be doing. So I called Dad and everything. I was like, Dad, we got the wrong part. I don't know what to do here. And then I just like went and looked at the instructions again, and I realized, oh, wait a minute, it meant this, not that. Turns out I had the correct piece totally fine. And so I went ahead with building the keyboard, and everything turned out fine. I just didn't realize that the instruction was saying what it was saying. So also today, the past couple days really. So throughout the semester, I'm in a minor at the University of Delaware. If you don't know, and part of that obviously is trying to get better at playing jazz. And so throughout the semester, I've had lots of class responsibilities. I played in the ensemble, and I played stuff for a private study with a professor. And so I had stuff to work on throughout all that. And so there was never very much time for me to work on my own sort of thing. But this past week, classes ended at UDEL, and I suddenly found myself having more free time to practice whatever I wanted to. And so something that I've been struggling with a little bit musically is that I can play jazz music, and you can tell that it's jazz, but it kind of all sounds the same. It's not very unique. It's not very. It's the same sorts of things over and over again, which is fine because they all sound nice. But it's not where I want to be as a musician, and so I want to get better. And one thing that I have been told countless times is just listen to that music, and if you hear something that you like in that music, pick it up, get it into your fingers, work on it, learn it, memorize it. And I hadn't really done any of that before. But these past couple days, I did that. I took a little phrase from a melody that I'd picked out earlier for my private study classes for piano, and I just worked on that melody, and I started putting it in all 12 keys. If you don't know, the piano has 12 keys, all of the white notes and all of the black notes. There's 88 on the keyboard, but there's 12 different ones that make different sounds. So I was putting it into all 12 keys, and as I was doing that, not only did I start to pick up that melody itself and get better at that, but I started to notice patterns that emerged. It was like, oh, I never noticed that before, but oh wow, that lines up. That's related to what this other lick that I had is doing over there. Oh, cool. That's cool. Okay. Oh, but what if I take the lick and I move it just a half step down? How does that sound? Oh, that sounds interesting. Or oh, that doesn't sound so good. I don't think I'll be using that. But the second that I started doing the thing that I had known to do for a while and that my teachers had been telling me to do for a while, the second I started to do that, things started to come together, and I started to get a little bit better. I'm not a different person now for having done so. I haven't skyrocketed forward several years in my musician's journey, but I have begun to make some progress, and I feel better about it, and I feel more confident that I'm like making progress and that sort of thing. So you may say, Caleb, why are you on here talking about you building a piano and you doing jazz music. That's all very well and good. But what am I supposed to take from this? Sometimes we don't really read the instructions. And what I mean by that is we think that we understand life, and we think that we understand how life is going to go, and we think we understand how life is supposed to go. And so we kind of come at it and we're like, yeah, I got this. But there's an instruction manual that's kind of helpful. It's called the Bible. And if you're not familiar with the Bible, if you're not acquainted with the Bible, or you think you are familiar with the Bible and don't want to have anything to do with it, I would I would suggest you take another look at it with fresh eyes, without letting anybody else tell you what it means. Read it for yourself. It's powerful stuff. But we have an instruction book, and we have it there for a reason. God didn't create us and then say, "Oh, well, all right, I guess they messed everything up. They bit into that apple or a pear or peach. I don't know. Maybe it was a dragon fruit that Adam and Eve ate, but whatever it was, he didn't just he didn't just put us on here to suffer and then go, well, all right, I guess that's it. No, he's given us help in the Bible. So uh we have that instruction book. And if we ever have any problems, we just got to turn to it. If we run into something that we don't understand, or we don't know how to approach, that we don't know how to deal with, it's there for us. And my little analogy about, as I was reading the instruction book and I didn't understand something, sometimes there's stuff where we think we see the instructions clearly, and we just think to ourselves, man, I did what it said, and it's still not working out all right. It's still not going the way that it said that it would go. And you know what? I'm done. I've got an incorrect part. I've got something wrong with me, or there's something wrong with the Bible. There is an exception here. Um, except that if we take a little bit of a closer look at the instruction manual, we will see that that's usually 100% of the time not the case. Um, Either we need to understand it a little bit better, and sometimes the Bible is very unclear. There are passages of scripture that biblical scholars have been studying for hundreds and hundreds of years and still don't understand, still don't know what it means at all. The book of Revelation is one of those, by the way. If you think you know what Revelation means, you don't. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I'll get off my soapbox. But so if we think that we don't understand the instruction book, we don't need to give up on the instruction book, and we don't need to give up on ourselves. It's not that there's something broken about the instruction book, and it's not that there's something unsalvageable about us. It's that we just need to keep working on it, because we're not perfect, and the Bible isn't always easy to understand. But if we keep at it, we'll get it. And then the last thing is that my little story about my working on, jazz and stuff like that. Sometimes we have the instruction book and we've decided to pick it up and do it. And sometimes we see an instruction there and we understand what to do. There's nothing that we don't understand how to do. But for whatever reason or other, maybe we're just too busy, or you'll get to it later, or I don't know about that. It seems kind of, I don't know. I don't know why that would work, that sort of thing. We just don't do it. And our life continues to not go as well as it should be going. But then if we would do what we know to do, um things would turn out a lot better sometimes. I'll use an example. Jesus speaks in the Bible about conflict management. If you didn't know that, if you're new here and you don't know anything about the Bible, yes, Jesus gives instructions on how to handle conflict with each other. So part of what he said was, take care of the conflict quickly, resolve it quickly. Don't let it fester. Don't let it sit there and turn into something even worse. He says, be sure to go in, basically, as go and take care of the conflict before your neighbor who has conflict with you calls the judge on you, and then suddenly you're brought before a court and now your life is on the line, or something like that. Go and resolve it quickly. Sometimes when we have conflicts, we don't resolve it quickly, and we let it fester and we let it develop, and then it turns into something far worse than it would have been if we had dealt with it as quickly as we could have. But if we follow that instruction, and it's not comfortable, it's not easy for us to do, especially in our culture. We live in a culture that's not great about directly addressing really big conflicts. If my brother steals my cheeseburger, obviously that's not something that I'm too nervous to talk about. It's like, hey, you stole my cheeseburger. What are you doing? But in bigger, much more serious issues, sometimes we can think that it's so serious and it's so big that to touch it or to deal with it that soon would be to endanger our relationship or our situation or anything like that. But if we follow the instructions of the Bible, if we resolve conflicts quickly, things will turn out a lot easier for us. And that's just an example. So, um, I hope that something here has been of some kind of help to you tonight. Just if you don't know what to do, go to the instruction manual, go to the Bible. There will be something there for you. Maybe do. It's very easy on the internet nowadays. You're looking for something about hope. Google search Bible. You'll get 15 different Bible sites. Search inside one of those sites hope. You'll get a bunch of verses about hope. So if you don't know what to do, go to the instruction manual. If you think you don't know what the instruction manual means by something, just keep at it. Just be patient with yourself and be patient with God and let Him do a work in your life. And if you have the instruction manual and you know and you understand what you're supposed to do, go ahead and do it. We're not great at that all the time, but that doesn't change the fact that we should we should do what the instruction book tells us to do, and it's in our best interest. So I hope all of you have a great night. It was good talking to you all, and I will see you all later. Bye.